When we talk about endurance, we typically think of the metabolic aspects such as your VO2 max level, your lactate threshold, your glycolytic capacity, the energy systems and things of this nature. On top of that, we also have the psychological aspects. What makes one athlete more willing to handle and endure fatigue than another? The topic of today, however, is movement efficiency. In the running context, they have something called running economy, which measures how many calories you burn per kilometer. So let's play with the fact that we have two athletes with similar anatomy, similar energetic attributes such as aerobic capacity and anaerobic capacity and things like that. The only difference is the running economy. We have an athlete with a good running economy that burns 70 calories per kilometer. And then we have another one with a less efficient running economy that burns 80 calories per kilometer. And this essentially works as a discount. You're getting the same product for a cheaper price. And this is not exclusive to running alone. You have economy in every single sport. If you are a boxer, you have boxing economy, you have wrestling economy, skiing economy, swimming economy, climbing economy, all of it. I cannot tell you how many athletes in combat sports especially I come across that are obsessive about finding the #1 most neglected secret exercise format or work to rest ratio for intervals when it comes to endurance. And then when you watch them in a live scenario in their sport, let's say a boxing match, they have super tense shoulders, they are shaking, they are stiff like a statue, just constant isometric force that burns ATP stores in the body. Super inefficient. My point is basically this: yes, you should work on your VO2 max levels and all of the metabolic aspects that we are talking about, but do not neglect movement economy. This is the cornerstone of all sports, I would say. Getting the same product for a cheaper price so that you can last longer. If you were to buy a new car, one attribute that will probably be important to you is how much fuel it burns per mileage. If you buy a fuel inefficient car, things will get expensive in the long run. Why not apply the same concept to your sport? And more importantly, why is this not talked about enough? Why are we so obsessed about your VO2 max, your anaerobic capacity and glycogen stores and energy systems and things of this nature? I think I know why. Number one, people are not aware of the phenomenon, and number two, the people that are aware of the phenomenon, it's just not flashy info, it doesn't sound cool, it doesn't sell well probably, and it takes a lot of effort. It's easier to bottle up a formulaic approach like, oh, here is your blueprint of how to increase your VO2 max by 50% and dominate your opposition and whatnot. It's not easy to drill the perfect technique to have the perfect proprioceptive awareness of where your body is in relation to your opponent, where you are the most efficient with your energy and where your opponent is the most inefficient. Leverages. You have to drill countless of scenarios so that you know where your body needs to be in every scenario of the match. These things are not easy. It takes a lot of effort and more importantly a lot of thinking. You would be surprised how resistant some people in this world are to thinking. As one of my idols, Charlie Munger, said, people calculate too much and think too little. People always want the formula of how to develop your VO2 max, the perfect exercise routine and all of these things, but they neglect the very fundamentals of endurance. And one major fundamental is movement efficiency, economy of movement. Once again, getting the same product for a cheaper price. If your economy of movement, that is your skill and technical aspects in the sport, is crap from the beginning, and all you do is implement a bunch of assault bike sessions, running sessions and sprinting and things of this nature, the only thing that you are doing is polishing turds. You are not working on the underlying issue. To give you an example scenario, imagine you shoot at your opponent in a wrestling scenario, for example. And your opponent sprawls, his entire body weight is on top of you, And let's say you are not technically developed, you do not know what to do here and you just compensate with brute force. In a scenario like this, it would not matter how high your VO2 max is, how anaerobically developed you are, you would burn out. You would burn yourself out pretty quickly by this constant isometric force that just depletes your ATP stores. This is an example of how skill and movement efficiency contributes to your performance in endurance. Fact of the matter is that a lot of beginner athletes, they don't know what they are doing in there. And they are focusing on the wrong tasks, like they are trying to increase their 10k numbers or going crazy on the assault bike, and they think that this will help them in such a scenario, while the underlying issue lies in the skill aspect, the technical aspects, the tactics.